welcome to today's January 20th FC Sports Podcast. I am your host, Drew Grimes, of course. Alongside me is Kyle Pearsall. And you're probably wondering why we did not have a show last week. Well, unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties, so we were unable to upload. But this week, we will be out. We will have a fresh set of topics for you guys. And let's get started here with our FC Sports. So we have the FC boys playing tonight at home. And, I think it's going to be a really good game, actually. I think, even though we played Noblesville, who's 9-4, I think we're going to make it really close. I think we're going to play really good tonight. I was watching them practice. I think we're going to be really good. And then, we have our FC girls basketball, who are coming off a win against Plainfield. They actually played really well, won 50-35, and they have an upcoming game on Saturday against
a really good Noblesville team.
Really good Noblesville team. We're gonna have some problems, but let's see what our team can get going here. And now we're gonna jump right in to IU. We're back. Okay, so we're back with men's basketball. Last week we were gonna do a segment on women's basketball. We weren't able to because of the technical difficulties, of course. But let's actually start with the women's basketball. Okay, let's just get into it. Alone at number 1 seed, or not number 1, but
6. We're the 6th seed.
6th seed in the normal. But what about Big Ten? No, we're 2 in Big Ten.
Yeah, I think we're second in Big Ten.
We're second in Big Ten because Ohio State is ranked 2 in the nation. They're 18-0.
Yep.
However, the ladies down at IU women's, are they 16-1, 17-1?
16 or 17-1,
something
yes.
crazy like that. Absolutely insane. Coming off of win. 2 tough games coming up, though. Michigan and then Ohio State. The Ohio State game is going to be a fun one to watch, though.
So is this. I mean, both these games are.
Even the Michigan game, yeah.
Michigan game,
too.
we're at Michigan. We are 17-1. You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against number 14 Michigan, this is going to be a really tough game because this team's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, getting one of the best teams in the nation, if not the best team in the nation, except for South Carolina, Ohio State. But we get them at home. Hopefully the fans show up, show out, and hopefully so do our ladies.
I know some people that went to our last game against Wisconsin that weekend. So, if we can, have the same presence and have the same amount of people and just have the same firepower and will to go and play nicely, I think we're going to do just fine. But enough of the women's. Let's get to the men's basketball. Coming off a win last night against Illinois, we dropped 80, all right? Trace Jackson-Davis dropped 35 points and 9 rebounds. He was a major contributor to our game. How do you think we played all around?
I think we played really good all around. At the beginning, it was a little iffy.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little iffy. We had a lot of weird turnovers. Trey Galloway had some turnovers. You usually never see that from Trey Galloway. He still played exceptional. But no, I thought we did really good, because against Illinois, I don't know if you guys were listening to the broadcast, but an announcer was talking about the Indiana-Illinois rivalry. Drew, do you know anything about the Indiana-Illinois rivalry?
Not until right now,
Yeah.
actually, when you told me about it. I had no idea there was an Illinois-Indiana rivalry.
I don't think there is. Maybe they're just trying to find a rivalry for Illinois because I don't think they have one. I think Northwestern's their top.
Maybe they're just trying to start stuff.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to start something. I heard their student section chanting stuff about IU, and they were very silent in that second half and the end of the first half. So that was a great job by our team, just silencing the crowd. I thought we did really good.
Yeah, even the first half, we were up 50-35, I think, at halftime. Or was it like 50-30?
No, it was like 50 to 40-ish. It was like
50.
Yeah, I know we had a 50. I think we were winning by 10. I think it was 53 to 43, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds accurate. But yeah, we played a really good first half. Dropping 50 in the first half.
No, it was 43-33. It was something like that. I don't.
50.
We had around
but
50.
If you're dropping around 50 in the first half, that's a really productive.
Especially coming off that Wisconsin game where there wasn't much offensive production in the first half.
Yeah, there was almost no scoring.
I think there was 20 points in the first half.
Yeah, we almost met our full game totals in the first half.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we played really exceptionally well. I think the turnover game definitely played a part. Was there an injury or no? I saw someone.
I know that Jalen Hood-Schifino had something with his hand. I think he played it off. and I haven't heard anything
Yeah, I
about him
haven't heard
being
nothing.
injured. So I don't think he's injured. He's a tough kid. I mean, he's gonna come out. He's gonna play for IU here. So I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's especially going to tough it out, especially still not having Xavier Johnson. He's got to tough it out. He needs to play. We need him right now.
Mhm.
You know, being our freshman guard, he's become one of the leaders on this team, being a guard.
Yeah.
And I also, Jordan Geronimo
Jordan Geronimo did exceptionally well,
Exceptionally
especially in that first half.
almost had a double-double in the first half.
I feel like teams try to body him a little bit and try to, like just body him.
Yeah.
But he is not a weak kid. That kid is strong.
Yes.
And he will play strong too and play. I think this is I just thought of this. IU was playing with a lot of emotion, but they weren't playing emotional. They were playing with a lot of good emotions, but they weren't playing emotional, getting stupid fouls, getting mad. They were just playing with good emotions.
That's good. That's good. We always look for that out of, especially IU basketball. We're, some of the leaders in the basketball community, I guess you could say, and NCAA, historic franchise. Bobby Knight, he didn't raise no wusses. So, I think it's a really good point there. And the fact that Geronimo kind of stepped up and had, 16 points, something like that?
It was something
9
like that. I think it
rebounds.
was above 15.
He almost had 10 rebounds, so, yeah.
Also, it was either Race Thompson or Xavier Johnson who got a technical on the bench. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, there was
actually.
a technical on the bench there. Race Thompson or Xavier Johnson. I don't know which one it
Of course,
was.
the injured ones.
I would be shocked if it was Race Thompson. I think it's a Xavier Johnson. But there was also a tech given to the Illinois basketball coach.
True.
He was. There's a lot of coaches in the Big Ten that have to hype their players up because them being showing emotion. I saw that a lot with the Iowa coach. It did work. I feel like Mike Woodson does really good just keeping his emotions cool, letting his team play, and letting his team bring all that firepower. He doesn't have to give them anything.
Yeah, I think you're right. And speaking of coaches and Mike Woodson, I also think that, do you think hiring Mike Woodson was a good idea?
I think
Because we got rid of Archie Miller, and then we had the choice between Mike Woodson and another guy. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I don't remember his name. But, my dad said something to me that, Mike Woodson, he only got the job because he played there. And I was thinking about this, and, seeing how Woodson calls his plays, he's very self-ordinate to get people stats. He likes giving the ball to Trace Jackson Davis because he's the All-American, of course. But I also liked how at the end of the first half, and I think it was the Wisconsin game, he was letting Jalen Hood-Schifino get shots up. He gave a lot of plays to get Hood-Schifino opportunities.
And when he came out in the second half, he was exceptional after
and then
that.
he played good. He was warmed up.
I think Mike Woodson a really good coach for IU.
Yeah,
He brings a lot of firepower to this program.
Yeah, he brings the intensity and energy that, this program really needed after Archie Miller.
Yeah.
And, IU basketball currently is 9th in the bracket in the West Division.
Yep.
Do you think that'll go up or down?
I believe
I don't like 9 right now because if we win, then we have to play either Houston or UNC Asheville, and I really don't want to play Houston.
Yeah, I feel like we'll go up just because our schedule and how this team's playing right now. Coming off of 2 really good wins against Illinois, Illinois is not bad. They were 13-5 going into the game.
Yeah.
Still 13-6, but still a better record than IU. Playing a good Wisconsin team who was 18th ranked. And, I mean, we've had some good wins. We beat Xavier, who right now is 3rd in the bracket.
Yeah, and aren't they 8 seed normal?
I believe they might be
in the 14, something like that.
They might be in the teens,
Top 15.
but yeah, they're definitely top 15, yeah.
And, do you think we'll get, number 7, 6?
I think we'll get number 6. I'd be okay with number 6.
And Rutgers is 5 right now. That is insane to me.
They will go down, though, just because they lost to Michigan State, I believe, who we play next.
And they're going to have a tougher schedule, too. We're right now scheduled to play Missouri, but a lot can change from now to March. So, now, getting into... We're just going to go to our next segment right now. And we got trivia coming up for you guys. So, today's question is going... Okay, by the way, before I get in the question, we will answer the question at the end of the show. So right after our picks of the week, we will have our trivia answer. So today's trivia question is, who are the only 2 quarterbacks that have beaten Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we can't really give you like multiple choice
I
here.
can't give you multiple choices because I don't have a card today.
But yeah, just leave a comment down below.
Yeah.
Don't cheat and go to the end of the video and see. But yeah, just put it down in the comment section below.
Yeah.
And see what you guys
Testing your
think.
football knowledge here. Okay, so now we're gonna go right into Indiana Pacers basketball. So coming off a couple of losses, I'm pretty sure here.
Mm-hmm. We lost to Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe, either last night. Yeah, last night or a couple of nights ago.
I don't think we played bad, but we didn't play great. You know, I think having Tyrese Haliburton still out is hurting us a lot. But
we are on a 5-game losing streak.
Yes.
And Tyrese Haliburton he got injured in the next game that we barely lost, and we lost to the Hawks, lost to the Grizzlies, lost to the Bucks, lost to the Thunder, and now we have an even harder team coming up, the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, we have a really hard schedule here.
And then after that, the Suns.
That's such a hard schedule.
Yeah.
Like, we can't really do much about that. But I mean, we still should show that we can beat these good teams. You know, we're just, I don't know, we're losing, but we're not playing bad.
No.
You know, even with all of our young guys being in, I really like Benedict Mathurin.
He's been really good.
I've loved him. I've also liked Aaron Nesmith. I've loved him. He's played great. Miles Turner, of course, we talk about him almost every week, but he's playing phenomenal. I can't, not talk about him. And so, playing the Nuggets next and then the Suns after that, that's going to be really hard. I think Miles Turner is definitely going to have to shut down Nikola Jokic, but I think Jokic and Turner is a good matchup because they both can shoot the 3. They both know how to play the perimeter. They both know how to play inside. And, Miles Turner's definitely gotten better at playing inside this year.
Yes. Yeah.
So, now, probably the most entertaining segment. The segment I was most looking forward to, NFL playoffs. All right.
Yep.
It is playoff time in the NFL.
And before we get into it, just to let everybody know at home, the game or the podcast that we couldn't,
yes,
the video that we couldn't upload last week.
We made our picks.
And Drew picked the Buccaneers and was very confident that they were going to win. So
I should have bet on the kicker.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, so don't go with what Drew says because he's
okay. I'll be better this week.
I'm sure you will. Let's just hop right into the games here. We got our first Saturday game coming up, Jaguars Chiefs. Just to let everybody know at home, Trevor Lawrence has never lost on a Saturday.
That doesn't persuade me.
Never lost on a Saturday. So let's just talk a little bit about this game. Drew, what do you like about both teams?
What I really like about the Jaguars is their persistence and their fight. I love how they came out in the second half and, they got that momentum at the end of the first half with the touchdown last in their game that they probably should have lost, to be honest. Lawrence bounced back after throwing 4 interceptions. And, only a handful of quarterbacks in the NFL have thrown 4 more interceptions and won a game, especially in the playoffs when you're facing good teams, especially like the Chargers. But, another big thing, I think the Jags are definitely going to have receivers playing well, and I think Etienne's going to have a really good game. Now, for the Chiefs, I think, they're going to have their O-line play really well. I also think just the offensive and defensive fronts are going to have to play really well. The linebackers, defensive linemen, I think they're going to play really well. I think Mahomes is probably going to do his thing. I think there's going to be a lot of touchdowns, a lot of scoring in this game. And, I think it's going to be closer than people expect.
I do think this is going to be a close game and a high-scoring game off of your point here. Just because the spread shows Kansas City by 8.5 points. I think it's going to be a lot closer. To me, it's either going to be like the really close game won by a field goal or someone's going to blow somebody out. I don't really think it's going to be in the middle where it's like 10 points, 13 points. It's either going to be a win by 20 or 3.
Yeah. And I think the middle wins and losses are always like the worst ones. They're always the most boring games. So I either want to see an absolute blowout or a really close game that goes down to the wire. That keeps me interested the entire time. And a really interesting thing with that game too is that Mahomes has thrown 11 touchdown passes in 3 straight games. So I mean, if he can keep slinging, but he has had an off week, so I don't know what he did in that off week.
Off weeks are always so hard to come off
You
of
have
in
no
any
idea what they're gonna
sport.
do.
In any sport,
Yeah, you have no idea
Especially
what you
football.
can do. You have no idea how you're gonna follow that up. That's
Mhm.
the biggest part. So we're actually gonna merge picks with this.
oh, we're gonna pick right after we
we're
talk
gonna-
about it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh.
merge.
All right.
So Jags Chiefs. First game, Saturday 4:30. What do you got?
This is actually on NBC, which you usually don't see NBC going
Especially
at
at
the 4:30s. Yeah, you usually don't see those games. I feel like, you know what I want to do here? I want to go Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Just an underdog pick here. I think it's a good underdog pick
I think you're
because
right.
people were like, "Oh, you barely came back in this game." I feel like they're going to come out and do really good. I think the Jaguars are going
I'll
to win.
back you up there, saying that the Jags earned their spot in the AFC South, but the Chiefs did not earn their spot at 1. In my opinion, I think the Bills should have still gotten 1.
No, I think the Chiefs were.
Well, Bills would have gotten 1 if they
No.
didn't.
They won enough.
Yeah, they would have. They were 1 seed.
I know.
Anyways,
I don't think that they would have.
I still think.
I don't think that they would have beat that Bengals
Okay,
team.
I'm making my pick. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
All right.
Chiefs are just the safest option here. I don't think it's gonna be 8.5 spread, but I'll go Chiefs.
When I come back here on Sunday, or not Sunday, on Friday, and see that the Jaguars won, I will be talking about it.
And I will be listening.
All right, now in our second game, still on a Saturday, it's a Fox game, 8:15. We got Giants, Eagles, 2 NFC rivals.
Okay, before we start, why did Fox and NBC switch?
I don't know. I don't like that.
Anyways, Giants, Eagles, the 6 and the 1 seed playing Saturday night. I'll be up to watch the game, of course. I have to be watching those games. Hurts and Daniel Jones, Hurts an MVP candidate. Daniel Jones has earned his spot at Giants QB, I think. And the way they played last week against a team that, the Vikings and the Eagles, we thought could have been maybe busts, frauds coming in. And Vikings, I don't know if they were much of a fraud. I think the Giants just outplayed them. And I think Giants are going to roll with that. However, I think the Eagles are still a really good team. They have, A.J. Brown, who's been playing phenomenal. Their defense is, of course, one of the best in the NFL. It's going to be a really hard game.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, you talked almost all about the Giants and Eagles there, so let's just get into our picks here.
Yeah, I pretty much said everything that was
Yeah.
said.
Drew, go first.
Oh, man, can you go first? I don't know yet.
I will go first, set the tone here. I do think that the Eagles will win. I think the Giants won their season. I think they beat the Vikings. That was what they wanted in their season. I think they got it. I don't think that they'll beat the Eagles. And I can't pick 2 upsets on 1 seeds.
Yeah, I think you're kind of right there. Okay, so here's what I think is that the Giants last week got their win that they wanted. They wanted the playoff win, and they got it. Daniel Jones has earned a spot. I don't think he can keep running or passing the way he does, especially against this Eagles defense. I think the defense is it's gonna be a defensive game. I think it's gonna come down to who has the best defense. I'm going Eagles.
All right, now getting into our third game, I think is the game of the week here.
Oh, easily the game of the week.
Bengals, Bills. We'll see who
3
truly
o'clock
would have
at
won.
CBS, on CBS. Yes, we will see who would have won.
I will start here.
Okay.
Bengals have been super hot until they played the Ravens. I feel like they did not do good against the Ravens. I feel like they should have won by at least like 30. Not 30.
Not 30. Are you?
Meant 20.
Are you crazy?
I meant 20. But I think they could have won by 20 there easily with Huntley in at quarterback. Not that good of a quarterback. I mean, it came to the last play of the game.
Yeah.
If the Ravens would have punched that in, they might have won
They
that
could've
game.
won.
But yeah, Bengals, they were hot. Now they're kind of off. So were the Bills. They were kind of off
Yes.
against the Dolphins
Dolphins.
there with a backup quarterback in. Both teams played backup
The
quarterbacks.
third string.
Third
quarterback.
string, yeah. I feel like both teams will come back though. Come back, have a good game against one another.
Last week was a really interesting train of thought for me because I was like, I saw the Bills game first, and then I was like, oh shoot, because I originally thought Bills over Bengals, and then I looked and I saw how the Bills played, and I was like, oh shoot, now I'm going Bengals. Then I saw the Bengals play, and I was like, oh shoot, I might have to go back to Bills. So I have no idea. This game could go either way for sure. I think it's also going to be a defensive game, but the offenses are going to be offense. You know, they have both star-studded offenses: Stephon Diggs, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, some of the best quarterbacks and players in the entire sport of the NFL. I think it's going to be a really good game. The over/under is 49. I'm easily taking over on that.
This is a hard game. I don't know if I can pick this right now. This is just such a hard game.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can
I'll go first this time because you've done 2 in a row. So, Bengals Bills. Ooh. You know, man, they both really won an NFC title game, or AFC. My bad. Buffalo has the -5.5. I think that's wrong. I'm going Bengals here. All right, I believe in the Cincinnati boys.
Bengals had a great season last year. Got to the Super Bowl. I think they'll get to the AFC Championship again. They knocked off the Chiefs last time. I think they'll do the same to the Bills.
Chiefs again this year too.
Yep, I think they'll beat the Bills.
So it's going to be pretty much, I don't know. But here's my case for the Bills. They could write a storybook. All right, this could be a storybook story. All right, this with DeMar Hamlin going out, I think they're gonna go for Hamlin. But you know, Bengals were in attendance for that game. I think the Bengals are gonna shut them down.
I think the Bengals are gonna win too. And now our last game of the week, we have Cowboys, 49ers, 2 seed against the 5 seed. 49ers are at home. Drew, what do you think?
All right, game Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on Fox, which means Joe Buck is probably calling it, which is why I think the Cowboys are gonna lose. Because the Cowboys never do good when Joe Buck is commentating them. So, wait, no. He doesn't work for Fox anymore. What am I talking about? Anyways, what am I talking about? Anyways, let's just get to the game. Cowboys at Niners. The Niners, Brock Purdy. What can we say?
The Niners are looking super good.
The Niners are insane. Brett Maher coming off 4 PATs missed. However, they had a lot of touchdowns. I don't think they played that great of a team at all.
Are you talking about they didn't play that good of a team and you picked the Buccaneers?
Shut up.
You're so gosh, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think the Niners, they have McCaffrey, Kittle, probably the best defense in the NFL, especially against the run. The Cowboys are gonna have to pass, and I think the Niners will all play them.
Both teams coming off wins here, obviously, but I think everybody was doubting the Cowboys. Everybody was doubting the Cowboys. Nobody was doubting the 49ers. So it honestly comes down to who wants it more.
I think you're completely right. I think, offensive lines are definitely going to hold up too. Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa on each team. I mean, that's a lot of quarterback pressure and presence. I think the quarterback's going to have to be shifty and, find quick routes. And I think Dak has more experience with that. But I think, I don't know what Purdy could do. He's got Deebo Samuel, he's got Brandon Ayuk, great shifty route running guys.
This is my bold prediction for the game. I believe Dak Prescott will throw 2 interceptions.
I think that's completely reasonable. Here's my bold prediction. I don't have a bold prediction. So we're going to the picks.
Yeah, let's pick it up.
I'll go first again. I'm going to go with the Niners. I'll go San Francisco 49ers here. They're at home. I think they got it.
Who did I pick for the other NFC game? I picked the Eagles.
You picked the Eagles. Are you still going to ride with the Cowboys? Or are you going to switch up?
You know what? Let's just ride with the Cowboys.
You're riding the Cowboys.
I still think the 49ers might win, but I'm just going to ride with the Cowboys until I fall off. I'll just ride with them, and then if the 49ers win here, I'll ride with the 49ers.
I'm going to say the same thing that you said earlier about the Jaguars. All right? I'm going to come back here when they win and tell you all about it.
The 49ers? All right. Well, it's not even an underdog pick, so I don't know what you're talking about.
The Cowboys. What do you mean?
I'm just going to ride with them, and they did good last week. I don't think their kicker is going to do what he did last week because that's actually impossible. So I think the Cowboys will win.
I got Niners. I just agree with you there. All right, so we had a great. That will conclude our show here today. We had a great episode of stats, trivia, and arguments. Now, what you've all been waiting for, the answer to the trivia question. We'll give you a reminder. The question was, who are the only two quarterbacks that have beaten Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? There's two, which I said in the question.
You'll say one, I'll say one.
All right, answers are Nick Foles and
Eli Manning.
Eli Manning did it twice. Nick Foles did it once. So, now, with the trivia question answered, that will officially conclude our show for today. Thank you all for tuning in, listening to the FC Sports Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Drew. Alongside me is Kyle. And talk to you guys next